Hi, my name is Hanspetermeyer, and I was just having lunch with Tom Dishlevoy. We're in his office here. And this is like a couple days ago, there was the Town of Comox Official Community Plan open house. And a lot of people showed up really concerned about the northeast woods, right?
That's right.
And I was talking to Tom, and he said,
well, I was amazed to see how great it was with the population, the people coming out like they did, the 300 letters, and it really made me think, said, yeah, you know what, we are passionate about where we live, to a certain degree anyways, and that issue was a hot button. And when I went to the public open house, it was wonderful. I didn't have to say anything, and the consultant got a clear message.
What was the message the consultant got? That people are passionate about this little corner?
There's this.
So here's a map of Comox.
That's right. Yeah, this is actually this is a crazy bit of my work. But underneath here, you can see some of the OCP consultants' planning maps. And this zone right out here is sort of up on the end of Pritchard Road. The airport is right here, and there's this big chunk of forested land right in this area on the edge of the town, contingent with the big sort of Lazo Marsh area out at this point. So there's a piece of crown land right here, and the public just saw that being scheduled as or focused and planned for housing, and they said no, they want that park, they want that green space.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
But you said it's more than the park, or that it's not just the park.
Yeah, well, I realized at that point that there was nothing more for me to say at that meeting, because the issue of the night was the park, and the consultant got that message, and that was fantastic. But if I wanted to talk about anything else, it was going to be irrelevant at that particular meeting, because the focus and all the energy was here. And yet, parks is just one thing that we have to get right. So I went away feeling great, but I figured, how are we going to get everything else onto the table?
So what is everything else that you want on the table that's not being talked about?
Yeah, well, I think if you were going to do a proper OCP update, you would want to look at all kinds of things, you know, social issues. You'd want to look at economic factors, and parks and greenways and environmental. So, I mean, the park was one part of the environmental, but, you know, what about our downtown core? What about, you know, what about the social aspects of
So
town?
how does this park thing relate to the downtown issue? Like, and people are always worried about taxes and stuff like that. How do these connect?
Well, that's the big challenge, and how do you connect them in an OCP process where, you know, to me, the frustration with the OCP process was that, you know, the consultants seemed to be doing it on their own. They had an open house. Everyone would contribute ideas, but there was no education involved. Nobody learned about density. Nobody learned about, you know, how important it is to concentrate our services in terms of transit, and of course you get you get a much more economical and affordable civic infrastructure, the water, sewer, and all of that. And you know, really, that's a whole other. I mean, there's so many layers of how to do an OCP.
In your quick and dirty kind of map here, you've got a downtown area in red, so in the circle here, so it's a 5-minute walking radius, and then a 10-minute walking radius, and this is like key. And then you got all this, you know, the creeks, the old creeks, some of the buried creeks. This is where you would start.
And it's not. You've just watched my YouTube video where I created all of this before everybody's very eyes, and really, yeah, that's a chance to map all the crucial components of an official community plan. And yeah, that's exactly what you're seeing here is the focus in the downtown core. These rings are, you know, sections of density. You know, the core mixed use commercial, lots of people living, working, recreating downtown, you know, supporting higher density, or medium density of residential and the odd commercial in and around it. Everything else can kind of stay the same, although I'd say let everyone you know, densify, put in a suite, and that's all we've kind of got to right now in the OCP. But this could be all secondary suite infill around the white area. But yeah, let's look at the interconnectivity of the green spaces. You know, this is the Brooklyn Creek corridor, and why not actually just make a big mark and connect that up into, you know, into the woods here, and of course that would all tie in. So, you know, this is one piece of this major green network. It connects right through into a waterfront parkway, you know, down along the foreshore.
That's already there.
No, a few meters of it is.
Oh.
But you know, this is the big picture plan. Let's say we want that pathway to go from from Courtney all the way out to the Spitz.
So are people talking about this besides you?
No, they talked about that in passion. I thought, man, if I could get people talking about some of these other issues just as passionately, we'd really have a meaningful OCP process.
So the message would be, what I'm hearing is, if people are passionate about this, they can maybe think about how this connects to the other possibilities for doing more green in the community, and on the economic side, to make it viable, to start looking at how density can actually make this, saving these green pieces possible. Is that the shorthand?
Pretty much. And if we could just find a way, to get the passion to move into some of these other zones, I think we'd have that we could get somewhere really important with that OCP.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a summary of our lunch conversation. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for watching.